Texas. The officer further observed the vehicle completely failed to stop at a red signal light and activated his emergency equipment and conducted a traffic stop. The officer made contact with the defendant, who was observed to be behind the driver's seat of the vehicle, and the defendant stated that he does not have his identification card with him, and the defendant gave a fictitious name of Fisher Leroy with date of birth January 1st, 2006. The officer ran the name through NCIC and found a DPS picture that does not remotely resemble the defendant. The defendant was asked if he was given the correct information, and the officer walked back to his patrol vehicle to double check, and the officer then observed the defendant exit the vehicle and sprint away despite giving him orders to stop. The officer ran after the defendant and observed the defendant get into another vehicle, the passenger side. The other vehicle drove away, and the officer gave the last direction of travel over the radio, but was not able to locate the vehicle. The officer walked back to the defendant's vehicle, secured it, and conducted an inventory check, finding a debit card inside with the name Kendrick Davis. The officer ran the name through NCIC and found a hit with a date of birth of 2/10/2003 with multiple Class C warrants, and ran a driver's license check with the defendant's picture and with date of birth. The DPS picture matched the defendant, and he was able to positively ID. And that's it, Your Honor.
So I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on both of your cases. The reason I'm bringing you out now is because there's no bond that's set on your cases, and we have to set you a bond. One of the things that I use to determine on what to set a bond is how dangerous you are, because I've never met you before. I don't know you. And all I know is that you've got a birthday in 5 days. So he's on bond for an aggravated robbery now, right?
Yes, Judge. It's my understanding, I think it was a 2B, it looks like. I don't believe bond conditions and everything were put in place until a few days ago.
A Hendrick Richard Davis hereinafter saw the defendant heretofore on or about August 12th, 2024, did then and there unlawfully while in the course of committing a theft of property owned by yada, 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 with intent to obtain and maintain control, intentionally and knowingly caused bodily injury to the complaining witness by using and exhibiting a deadly weapon, namely a firearm. Complainant McSweeney advised that defendant Davis proceeded to pull a pistol from his waistband and pistol whip him with it multiple times on his head and face area, causing multiple cuts and bruises to his head and face area. As he proceeded to fall down on the ground, he continued to strike him in the head and face area with a closed fist and then stomp on his face with his foot. Complainant McSweeney stated that he was in fear for his life and felt severe head pain as a result of the assault. I see that he has also picked up an evading arrest in a motor vehicle the day after our two cases. How? Oh, I guess that's how they caught up to him, right? They must have.